just got to make sure we have everybody in here too. So yeah, it may be crashing for you guys because people are joining at the same time at once. Just be patient with it, guys. If it's a real penalty issue, no worries, I can handle that. All right, no worries. I'll restart it for you guys. Yeah, stand by, guys. Stand by. Yep, I'm restarting it. Just stand by. It's honestly because we have 32 people joining in at once, so it's kind of crashing our server, so it's pretty funny. No worries, guys. I'm loading it back up for you guys. So just stick with me for a moment. Just an FYI, guys, make sure you're following the pit exit line over the wall. You're not cutting straight onto the track once your pit limiter is off. Do not cross over to the racetrack. You must follow over through the wall, or else you will receive a penalty point for it. We are not going to be joking about that. So, drivers underway here today. We have a lot of debut drivers, a lot of new drivers, a lot of returning drivers. First round of the championship. And we're looking for our first man to take pole position. And here's the first one we're watching right here, Peter Sabo. If you don't remember Peter, he was back at not too long ago for the GT3 championship. My apologies there. Thank you for that, Jaden. Wow. in. You can't join qualifying, but you'll be in for the sprint race and the mains. Kale, see your notification there. Looking for another open spot. As soon as I see it, you'll be let through. All right, great qualifying there. Congratulations. Your top three: Sven, Jaden, Ilham. All right, you guys can leave the server now, and we'll let you know when the race server comes back up. Kale, I'm gonna let you through for the race, so just get ready to be able to join into the session. So Kale, you're confirmed now, buddy. Session is open. Session is open. You can hop in now. And Kale, once again, you're good to go, as well as Casper. Both of you guys are now locked in for the session. Once again, server's up, server's up, server is up. Once you're in, you can do a little bit of warm-up. It's a 7-lap sprint race. Remember the rules? Refresh yourself on the rules really quickly if you have to. Alright. I just saw your DM there, Andy. That's a bit of a shame. Well, he's in, so if he wants to get into the main race, he can. I am seeing a real penalty error, but we're just going to leave it alone as long as nobody's getting kicked. I think it's just the sake of, oh, well, I've been kicked there. So that's a bit interesting. Did anybody get kicked, or is that just me? If that's the case, it has nothing to do with a real penalty. It's just a warm-up session that loads in. Yeah, Daniel. All right, sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that, guy. No need for screenshots. No need to let me know you guys are being kicked. I got it. I know exactly the issue. Just setting up a warm-up session in the server. So that's, you know, we're just going to have to sack that off. Everybody's going to be locked straight onto the grid. Everybody's going to be locked straight onto the grid. We've learned our lesson. This is what we get for first round. But, yeah. No worries, guys. It'll get loaded up in just a moment. I'm going to extend it to about 5 minutes on the grid. 5 minutes on the grid, guys. So just stay with me for a moment. Apologies once again. First round of the championship. We're trying something new here. But luckily, we're getting it sorted out as soon as possible. Thank you for your patience, guys. It means a lot. So I'm restarting the server. I will let you know when to come back in. Andy, all rules are in the Porsche chat if you want to clarify more, but no, there's no mandatory pits ever in this championship. remember, it's a standing start, guys. Sprint race here, so have fun. Top 8 points. Yep, join the server if you haven't already. Join the server. You have under 5 minutes until lights go out. Three minutes till lights out. Yeah, don't worry. Don't worry that I disconnected. I'm coming back in. All right, just under 90 seconds, guys. Get ready. Join up the server if you haven't already. And we have everybody in the audience, the broadcast chat. Is if you crashed onto the inside of the pit wall or anywhere near the pit wall, it may have given you that. I'll do my best to try to wipe it, but you may have to take that. over to the side of the track just after turn 1. Just keep it straight forward there.
I'm not letting you have the speed too after touching the track. Yeah, back off. No way you're gonna feel like you can cut the track and overtake me like that. Not relying on penalties.
Teleport to the pits or right? I'll let you guys know when the second server's up. It's not up yet. It is not up. I will let you know when it is. But that was a great one. There was a lot of incidents that happened at the start. Everything's going to get looked at after the race. The penalties that happen on track. Sven, I'll invite you up here for our race winner. P1 here for this first race of 2. Sven, you take P1 here for the sprint race. Great effort. How was that one? Well, take me through that one. I know it may have been a bit boring after the start, but how was that one for you anyways?
Well, it's been good. I'm happy that the people behind me were fighting mostly, so that gaining me distance. I noticed that there was a lot of speed difference with the slipstream. So I'm happy that I was outside of the slipstream range after the first 1 or 2 laps.
1000%.
Congratulations to the other people at the top.
But you take the race win here. You also start on pole position for race 2. It's a longer race. How are those tires feeling coming to the end of that one?
Well, for the sprint race it was fine. I hope that for the big race it's the same. Although I haven't really practiced that at all, so I can only hope that they will do.
Well, congratulations on the race win for the sprint. Good luck for race 2.
Thank you very much.
Drag you back into the audience. Stand by for the next server to come up in just a moment's time. We're going to hold off P2 and P3 interviews. We're just going to interview the race winner for the sprint. But the main race will get all the top 3 interviews. Once again, stand by for the race server to come up for the main race. It'll be locked you guys straight onto the grid. No more real penalty issues. And once again, all incidents are going to be looked at after this race. Race servers up, race servers up. It's the main race now. 20 laps. Servers up. So session's up. Join the server if you haven't already. Join the server. 3 minutes and 50 seconds left to go. Once you load into the server, you might get put into the pits. No worries. It should put you onto the track. Unless it doesn't, then I'll just restart it again. That's no worries. Alright, I'm seeing the issue, guys. Restarting the server here. I'm disabling real penalty for this issue. It's being a little bit ridiculous on us. So, I'm restarting it, guys, so just give me 1 moment. I'll let you guys know when it's back up. Once again, apologies for all this real penalty nonsense. It has never done this to us before in all our testing, but, hey, you know what? We know the issue, and we can get it sorted to get you guys back on track racing. So, server's being restarted right now. And I'll let you guys know when to join it up. Once again, thank you so much for the patience. And apologies for just the bit of issues that's going on here. But we're going to get you guys right on track. So just get ready for my call. All right, session's back up. Session's back up, guys. I think for sure we should be good. So 4 minutes, just 4 minutes until the lights out. 4 minutes to the lights out. Everyone should be on the grid, so we should be good. And real penalty was the bane of my existence and everyone's existence. But luckily, we should be good. We're still going to be watching incidents that happen, cut tracks that happen, speeding penalties in the pit lane. We're going to watch all that. It's going to be done after the race. But do not take advantage of that because you will be penalized if you are speeding in the pits or cutting the track. Nonetheless, though, we're going to have some fun. 3 minutes, 18 seconds, 20 lap race. So Let's have a good one out there. I know there was a lot of carnage at before we even got to turn 1, so let's try to keep it as clean as possible and have fun out there. That's the most important part. 3 minutes left to go till the lights out. All right, good luck, everyone. 90 seconds left to go. Once again, there are no mandatory pit stops in any of the races. It's completely up to you if you want to make that strategy call. So, let's keep this one as clean as possible. All the drive-through penalties that happened in the last race will not happen in this one. It's honestly just real penalty that is decided. Today's the day I'm going to ruin everyone's day. So, everything should be good. 60 seconds left. Best of luck. My car's not P1, it's actually in last position there, Danny, so you don't gotta worry, my car's nowhere near.